One last question, Michael Green. With this dispute or this rift over Ukraine and Russia flexing its muscle, saying, well, if you impose more sanctions, we'll turn to Asia. What are the implications of this increasing rift between the United States and Russia for our relationship with China? Do you see a greater rapprochement between China and Russia? Or do you think the Chinese are concerned about the way Russia is handling its, policy vis-a-vis Crimea, Ukraine, and so forth?
Well, China and Russia are united in their annoyance with the West, with the United States. We talk about democracy, we talk about rule of law. They both find that annoying, they don't like it. And they have some reason to cooperate together in the Security Council at the United Nations and elsewhere to try to slow down what they see as the Anglo-American, Japanese, Australian, Western effort to impose rules on their own citizens and their own societies. So they have some common cause there. But they're fundamentally different states. China is a rising power. It's not yet a revisionist power. China benefits from the global trading system. It depends heavily on the global trading system. Russia is a declining power that's quite revisionist. It's not so dependent on the global system. It doesn't have as much stake, and they can throw their weight around and act like bullies with greater impunity than China. So they're fundamentally different states, unified by some common views. Japan, Korea, in Asia, they saw the Russia card as kind of useful. They wanted to work with Russia to put pressure on North Korea, try to separate Russia from China a bit, to have a better balance of power in the region. It's quite inconvenient, particularly for Japan, but for Korea as well, that this Ukraine crisis happened because it interrupts their efforts to try to woo Russia to be more cooperative in Asia, including, by the way, getting Russia to sell them natural gas. On the other hand, both Korea and Japan as allies, and the Philippines and others, recognize clearly that what Putin is doing in Crimea and the Ukraine is a playbook that North Korea could follow, or China could follow. And they recognize fundamentally that they have to stand with Europe and with North America as democracies in doing what they can without making the crisis worse to try to dissuade Putin from going any further. They get that. But it is awkward for our Asian allies because they kind of wanted to use the Russia card for energy, to counterbalance China, to put pressure on North Korea, and now that's harder.